Well, good evening. I'm Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. And tonight I want to talk about Valiant Playability. And playability is all one word. But it's about having the ability to play with your challenges and actually expand through them with what I call mobilewise. It's being on the move with a moxie to open visionary energy to expand through life. And as I expand through this, and I just wrote this Sunday and really started opening up to it. But the playability of life is giving us the toddler tenacity to see everything as an adventure rather than a challenge. And it's having the visionary versatility and the inner versatility to expand through it. It's to be of it, and that's optimizing foresight rather than being in it. And that is what playability does. It puts you above all the stuff that's going on in your life. You stop focusing on what we taught ourselves in our childhood, because we taught ourselves to follow whatever our circle of influence said to do. And as I look at the school and all the stuff I followed, the thing I left out was following my own abilities to expand through life and to be an entrepreneur, because I followed in my parents' footsteps and my childhood footsteps growing up in South Dakota and born in the 50s and coming out of the Depression and World War II right into the Korean War. That I left us out of the realm of today, because today we have all the spiritual stuff, the innovation, all the seminars to open you up to business and everything else, but we still leave out one thing. It's our own viable playability to play on our fields of prosperity, because we're afraid to get out of what we know. Whatever you go to, they always talk about knowing instead of enjoying the wisdom of the situation and treasuring the tenacity of our own ability and the wisdom we all encompass. And it'd be easy for me to say all you got to do is this, this, and this, and that'd be a flat out lie, because to uncover your tenacity, your wisdom, and all that, you got to discover yourself internally, and the only one that can voyage into you is you. And for me, it's voyage into me. I like saying it in first person, because that gives it the tenacity and the ownership of my own optimism, willfully naturalizing, savvy, harmonizing internal prosperity, because the wisdom is the wealth, but our abilities are the health of our outcome. So as I open myself to this and I begin the voyage of vibrant optimism, yesing of adventurous gut epiphanies, I really expand of who I am. So as I walk forward in life and I go onward, I discover the will to waltz with the will of my dreams. How does that feel when I say waltz with the will of my dreams? And that's what we're really afraid of, is the will of our dreams are beyond our current confidence. It's above everything. And we're too busy trying to be in the thin of life rather than in the sunshine of our divine daredevilry that sets us free from everything in life. So as I open up and optimize this, I speak a lot of open and clear and unwords, because I want it free in here. And I want it to come from the diaphragm and not my throat. And because change is a throat, it never gets below here, as expand comes from the gut spunk that we all encompass. But it's really about allowing ourselves the freedom to maneuver through life, because we're trying to be too perfect when something happens. And I'm guilty of that. I want to be perfect. I want to think life is easy, and I want to think it's perfect. Life is a mess, and it's about opening up my will to win internally, loving life externally. Because whatever I feel on the inside is what the world sees on the outside. So as I expand through this, realizing I used to think if I yelled, I screamed, I talked loud, I was a tough guy and everybody was afraid. And that was the biggest fallacy I ever thought in my life. You know, when I can talk quiet, talk responsible, talk accountable, and show people a better way and let them hear my inner wisdom as I listen to their wisdom, not what they know, to their wisdom. Because everybody will tell you what they know, but nobody ever goes and know. But when wisdom flies, we open the kingdom of Kevlin energy to be of the omniific omnipotence of our heart and soul. Omniific is the most powerful creation there is. So when you're omniific terrific, how does that feel when you say, I am omniific terrific? Trailblazing, enterprising, resolve, invigorating, far-seeing, internal confidence. Because the playability of life is having the confidence to live beyond what everybody else thinks. And do it with a calm, cool, but yet an energetic aura. And people will notice. But I noticed one thing, and I've really expanded of that. When a person is confident and willing to go through life and willing to make a mistake, or make a mistake, I call it, because a mistake is just a mistake and a wrong road voiced in to feature something that has a roadblock within us. But when you're willing to make a mistake, you're willing to tantalize affluent, kinetically energizing your wanderer's will to expand out of the situation. Because we become too couch potatoes to move forward, because we want to stay where we live, we want to stay where we know, we want to stay right inside that circle and never go any further than the little box we've got in. And see, do you ever notice the world is made in squares, blocks, square sections? Everything is made in a box. But where the will to win, everything is made in a circle that is ever ending. But a road is a line that goes on forever. But a trail takes you into new adventures. And the adventure that I desire to experience is the audacious daredevilry inside me that'll set me free. Maturing, enterprising reveries to understand my dreams are bright and bold, waiting for me to experience the events that will expand me of that dream rather than control me in what I know. And something I've really expanded into, and it's taken me a long time to understand this. I was afraid to go beyond what I know. Then I'd want to know and understand and have the outcome there without having to let go of anything and expand of anything. To live the dream and the desire and the wealth, everything you have today will be featured, stretched, and expanded of to move forward. The reason I use the word expand is free of memory, and it's unlimited. And in my mind, and all my memories that have me in the pain and change never enter the picture. The only thing that enters the picture is an inspirational energy to expand new epiphanies, realizing gut yazzapanache will dance me through life. It's about the dance through life rather than being stuck in life. And how are we stuck today in history? Because if you look at the world today, I know I say this on about every show, but if you look at the world today, we live history because we understand history. So just like in our real lives, we understand our history, so we redo the history to make us, well, basically in the misery of history of ourselves. And that is something I'm good at. I was good at that. I'm getting out of it. I'm expanding out of it, but I've got a long ways to go. But here's the thing about the go. It galvanizes optimism, generating omniific, terrific tenacity, to be willing to be the hellraiser in my inner self, to feature all my doubts, and quit pouting and show the world my canonized cloud of celebrating life, openly unleashing trend-setting temerity, to marry my dreams, my spirituality, and everything in my life to trying the divine of my inner self to the world. It's about showcasing my playability and my mobilewise moxie to realize I gotta be like a tumbleweed growing no moss and never hitting a fence line, because like a stone that never goes, it never hits anything, never quits rolling. And that's the way our inspirations are. They never quit rocking and rolling and dancing with the will of our dreams to expand and energize and escalate the innate talents of ourselves. Playability is trusting my ability and my agility and dexterity to never be in the misery of a challenge, to always be in the class of a challenge, because I'm canonizing hellraiser's audacity, loving life, expanding newborn genius, elegantly sitting on my mountaintop of money, watching my waves of wealth flow to me as I surf my seas of success. Because I am a blessing to the world, because I boldly lionize everyday savvy, stimulating internal new grandeur for all to see. And that is what we're willing to view, show the world, is our inner grandeur. And be the Teton Mountain, the Pacific Ocean, the seven wonders of life are within us. And as I open up to the center of seven wonders of life, that's health, wealth, love, success, honor, harmony, and humility, and most of all, experiencing a life of leisure that I energize by my willpower to have willpower of my playability and mobilewise, because I engaged in life rather than sit on the bench in the stench of my self-pity. And I've done that really well, I'll tell you that. But I'm really opening up to realizing life is going to test me every day. It's going to test me to be calm, cool, and collective. But it's also going to test me to stand tall for my values and show the world my value of my wisdom, innovation, and my talent. Because everybody on this earth has a talent to expand the world. But our talents isn't going to be inside society's system. Our talents are going to be on the fringe and showing the world our far-seeing reveries, invigorating new gut energy and epiphanies to show the world that there is a life beyond the school system, society, and everything we taught ourselves. And it's also beyond the power of money to be in the energy of money. Because money is an energy of magnificent optimism, naturally expanding the yazzapanache within all of us. And you know, and as I open up to this, I always thought, well, if I had money, never have money till I have the wealth of me in here. And that's a wisdom, enterprising affluence, loving today, harmonizing my inner self, my external self, and my internal life all today. Because we play on a field of people. And people are always trying to steal somebody's dreams. But the only one that can steal my dreams is me, because I allowed an outside influence to control me. It's letting go of the control, be the facilitator and participant of the will of my dreams, to dance rebelliously, enjoy amazing miracles every day. Because I allow myself and I vow to myself to audaciously visualize optimism, magnificently dancing on the streets of the world, because I showed my world my playability and my mobilewise energy. And I turn on the electricity of my brain power and my brain prowess, because my brain listen to my gut gumption and my backbone brilliance to move myself forward, and to realize that life is an adventure of featuring the fallacies of history. My history. Nobody else's history. My history. And that's what the spiritual and the personal growth and all that stuff is featuring personal history. And that's all it is. And quit listening to the lewd stuff we tell ourselves internally. I've told myself some lewd pollutants, I tell you that. Some delusional despair and all that stuff. Life is never fair is the biggest lie I've ever told myself. The world is fair, because all of us have different things to experience, to expand out, to expand from the now to the eternity. And as I open up to this, Every time something occurs, it's because I never listened to the invisible innovator of my life and my imagination intuition that really frees me from yesterday. It's the playability and the mobilewise that will always energize the outcome I desire to experience. See, we always set goals, we got to make them smart. What is the outcome you're willing to experience? And what is the outcome you're willing to dance with? And what are the events that you'll rumble with to release and resolve and dissolve all the crap we have inside us to really feel the lavish luxury of our own inner core that soars and roars with riches, optimism, affluence, realizing that life is a mess and I get to magnetize every day success by understanding the mess is opening me up to the end of opening my eyes to enjoy my playability and mobilewise wizard. Because we are wizards when we quit trying to think our way through life and allow the invisible intuition within us show us the way to the promised land we all deserve to experience. And that is what it is. But it's not about reading the book and it's about going to a seminar. It's being willing to walk through and address all the inner embedded pain we did and really invigorate it with wisdom and realizing the only thing that caused my pain, I was apprehensive about listening to my inner self. Because every time something's happened unsavory to me, is because I never listened to my invisible innovator and my intuitive wizard, because they expressed to me, but when I wouldn't listen, they showed me the ills of my ways. And with that, I'm going to say good night, and we'll be here Thursday night, and it's going to be I danced with the will of my dreams. So as I say good night, I am Robert A. Wilson. I'm a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, timeline coach, published author, and I express the way I expanded my life to the world, allowing people to open their own eyes to their inner wise and their playability and mobilewise to just dance and rumba, disco with life. It's what everybody decides, chooses, or is open to experience. Anyway, my website is mycowboywisdom.com. My books are available on amazon.com/author/Robert A. Wilson and howdiditeachmyselffear.com. And I'm going to say goodnight, and may your life be a blessing to me and the world, because you expand my life by being who you are in a bright, bold way. And I say good night.